This is basically a musical instrument made out of PVC pipe. When I slap the end, I'm compressing air molecules, which triggers a wave that propagates through the rest of the tube. Notice that it's the wave and not the molecules themselves that travel all the way down the tube. What happens is, as these molecules move forward, they bump into a bunch of other molecules and get those to compress together as well. Meanwhile, behind the pulse, there's a little bit of a vacuum, and so these original molecules kind of return to home base. But the wave of pressure continues along. So what happens at the end? Well, the end is connected to the rest of the world. And so this compression doesn't continue to propagate along, it just kind of spills out. And that leaves a vacuum at the end of the tube. In this way, a positive pulse of pressure will reflect off the end as a vacuum going the other direction. Which is weird, but it does mean that the signal continues on, that it starts up here, goes to the end, and it comes back the other way. And once the vacuum reaches the top, it can pull in too much gas and now create a whole new compression wave that starts the process all over again. In this way, a pressure wave will bounce back and forth hundreds of times before all of its energy is dissipated. In this way, it forms what's called a standing wave, where the left and the right waves interact in such a way that it looks like just a single pressure going up and down. What's cool though is that only certain waves with certain wavelengths can do this process. So every time I slap the end, I'm creating an infinite number of waves, but only the ones that fit perfectly within these boundaries will continue to oscillate enough times for them to contribute to what I actually hear. So if I change the length of the tube, I'll hear different notes coming out of it. For instance, if I drill a hole here, I'll hear different notes. If I want the note to last longer though, I'll need to find some way to sustain the oscillations. But this is the first step to understanding how wind instruments work. Thanks for watching.